Chapter 7. How to report and discuss the results of research. Lead in. Before revisiting some of these concepts, we first need to explore the difference between data and results. Number 1. Data versus results. Data consists of facts and numbers, and these are generally presented in tables and figures. Results, on the other hand, are statements in the main text that summarize or explain what the data show. A result is supported by data. 2. Results versus discussion. Another important consideration is the difference between results and the discussion of results. You will say that it is hard to avoid commenting on the results as you present them. However, discussion sections differ from results sections in that the discussion section explains why the results are meaningful in relation to previous related work and the research question that was explored, or sometimes suggestions for future research. Two important linguistic characteristics of the results sections are the use of location statements, that is, where you find the data, and comparative language, that is, for evaluation. Objectives. There are more objectives in the chapter, so you need more patience while listening. Students are expected to identify the distinction between data and results, learn to read visual information, learn phrases to make generalized comparisons, learn location statements, note special verb agreements. Tasks. Visual devices such as graphs and tables are convenient ways of displaying large quantities of information in a form that is quick and simple to understand. Below are illustrations of some of the main types of visuals used in academic texts. Identify the types of the visuals and then match the uses A to E to the types 1 to 5. Uses. A. Comparison. B. Proportion. C. Function. D. Changes in time. E. Statistical display. All the visuals have been put into order. Notice there are numbers to indicate the order. Take another look at the 5 types of visuals used in academic texts again. Have you got the answers? First, let's identify the types. Answers. Number 1 is a diagram. Number 2 is a table. Number 3 and number 4 are both called charts, a pie chart and a bar chart. Number 5 is a line graph. A diagram is usually used to show how a machine, a system, or an organization works. A line graph is a planned drawing consisting of a line or lines, showing how 2 or more sets of numbers are related to each other. Answers. The diagram shows the function or roles of faculty members in the language center. Number 2, the table, gives statistical numbers. The pie chart is intended to make the proportion easier to understand, while the bar chart visualizes the comparison. The line graph reveals changes in time. Learn the language of indicating changes. You can see it grew, rose, increased, climbed, slightly, gradually, steadily, sharply, or jumped, fell, decreased, a slight jump, a gradual fall, a sharp decrease. Take another look at the previous visual illustration number 5. You can describe it in the following sentences. Pay attention to the words in italics. Sports Center membership grew slightly in 1992 and then rose steadily until 1995, reaching a peak of 4,900. In 1998, there was a sharp rise, then a peak of 6,700 in 1999, followed by a slight jump in 2000. Complete the following description of the table below, which is on the marriage and divorce rates. The following description can be taken as a sample. Pay special attention to those underlined words. The last 2 sentences analyze the data of the United States. Signal the difference between the United States and Turkey, and suggest the possible cause of the high marriage rate in both the United States and the UK. It appears that in the United States, more than half of all marriages end in divorce, while in Turkey, the proportion or figure is less than 10%. This suggests that in countries such as the United States and Britain, the high marriage rate may be a result or a consequence of a high divorce rate. Key points. Here is a section of key points. Making comparisons. When writing up the results, you may want to include statements of comparison. The useful sentence structure include: Number 1. A linking verb is followed by a comparative adjective form. Number 2. Use the comparative structure as much as or as many as. Number 3. Use times in the following structure. The following sentence structure, number 4 to number 7, may be more complex. Take number 7 as an example. The density of water is more than 800 times greater than that of air. Here, that of air is abbreviation of the density of air. Here are some other ways that authors can signal similarity or equivalence, and difference or non-equivalence. The first 4 cases signal difference or non-equivalence. The conjunctive adverb, however, used to join independent clauses with a semicolon. The subordinating conjunction while, the phrase linker in contrast to, and the coordinating conjunction but. Cases 5 to 9 indicate similarity, equivalence between things or groups of people. Language focus. Let's take a look at language focus of this chapter. First, location statements. They are used while referencing to nonverbal material. Tables, graphs, figures, photographs, etc. The 4 patterns are listed below. Pattern A and B are more common than others. A. Table 3 shows reviews provides the high rates. B. The high rates are shown in Table 3. Number 2. Special verb agreements. A set of 200 questionnaires was distributed. This sentence follows the standard rule that the verb agrees with the subject noun, in this case set, and not the second noun, in this case questionnaires. A better way to understand this is that, in the phrase a set of questionnaires acts like descriptive adjective. For example, in a committee of women describes the composition of a committee. Note that this important rule does not apply in a few exceptional cases, such as when the first noun is a fraction, a proportion, or a percentage. In these special cases, the verb agrees with the noun closest to the verb. Notice the agreement of the subject and the verb in the sentences. For example, a large proportion of students are distracted when they cross the street while talking on the phone. The linking verb here needs to be in the plural form are, because it agrees with the plural noun closest to the verb, students. This is probably because the phrase large proportion also functions as a modifying adjective. It is like most in the sentence. Most students are distracted when they cross a street. Summary. Here are some useful questions to ask yourself about writing the results section of your paper. Number 1. Does the results section deal with the topic that was proposed? Number 2. Is everything in the results section relevant to the method section and the research questions? Number 3. Is the data logically and clearly organized? Number 4. Have you described the statistical and graphic information in an academic and clear manner? Number 5. Have you presented the major significant findings? Number 6. Have you stated the locations of the results and findings? Number 7. Have you compared or contrasted the data presented in the graphs you made? Number 8. Is there a clear distinction between your findings and those of other authors? Number 9. Have you documented all the information you have referred to? Number 10. Are the grammar, punctuation, and spelling correct and acceptable?